Traditional yam band is one of the best ways to store yam, and that's what I normally use. Some time ago, I uploaded a video where I taught how to make the band. That's one type of band. The band that you are going to be seeing in this video is a modification, and there is a slight advantage this one has over the former one. In that video, I made mention of the fact that we can use live wood to make our band, which is what I have done here. This is where I'm going to locate my band, and I've formed the basic structure before now. This is already a live wood. I cut this wood from the bush and planted them about a year ago. You can actually just go get a live wood and plant now. It will still germinate. So I didn't have to use this because I knew I was going to use it to create a content. Now this is what I have done. This wood is from a plum. It's from hog plum, and it has the ability to germinate very, very fast. That's another type of wood. But if you look at it, I've put them in the basic structure in tandem. This one, the major one, this is another one about 10-15 feet apart, depending on how you want the size of your band to be. And this one is another one. There are two more under there, so it gives me the opportunity of having to extend my band. But the unique thing about this band today is that it's slightly different from the former one, because this one will help me to maximize space. It will help me to store more yams, and I will show you how that happens. So let's start this video by going straight to the point.
So apart from this very basic structure, you need some other extra woods. I have taken the liberty of getting some bamboo sticks, very straight one at that. If you can get very straight one, this one is slightly curved, but the straighter it is, the better for you. So this one is a very, very straight one. So these ones are going to form the horizontal structure of the band. So what you are going to do first is this: get your vertical structure down inside the ground about 2 feet in. This one has been done some time ago, so it has germinated. This is the middle structure. This middle structure will help you to break the long length, so that the weight of the yams that they are going to carry will not be so much on them. You probably know better what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is very simple.
This one will form the horizontal structure, where I'll put one here, just like I have done before. Put another one at the middle, and put another one here at the top. Now, the difference between this and what I have done previously in the other video, which I would encourage you to watch because I'll put the link at the end of this video, is that I'm going to double this structure such that you have one on each side of the vertical wood structure that I've already placed. The reason for that, you will soon know. The next thing you should get is a rope, a very strong rope at that. But it should be rounded such that it doesn't mount a lot of pressure on the live wood. Notice that in the former video, I used nails to attach the horizontal structure to the vertical structure. This time, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use ropes instead. The reason is this: you don't want to pierce a live wood with a nail, so it's not really reasonable. All right, so what we are going to do now is get rope that are strong enough to take your band for as much as the time that you want, as long as you want. For example, this band is going to stay up to about, of course, 6 months to even 9 months if I wanted to.
The only thing I will be changing from time to time, they are the horizontal structures basically, and this middle vertical structure if I want to. But these ones, they remain this way and they will continue to grow. Another reason why using a live wood is very important is that with time they will now form shade. Look at them, they started forming leaves and branches. These ones, they are going to eventually help to form shade. Now, although this place is seeming to be exposed to the sun, but at the end of making this barn, we are going to use palm frond to cover the top so that this place will be shady, because that's the whole essence of creating a barn in a shady place. For some people that have perfect locations where you have shade from plantain trees and all that, perfect. But for me, I'm going to simulate that, and thankfully I have my live wood already creating shades for me. So we're going to start right away. I'll get this long bamboo that can span at least the first 15 feet of my barn. If it ends, you can keep on elongating, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to have to tie now. What I do, I'll just take up to about close to a foot from the ground and I'll tie, because this is going to form the basic structure. So please, when you are tying, make sure that you tie very, very hard, because that's what is going to carry the weight in the long run. All right. You tie it in such a way that it will be very strong, so that it won't be moving anymore. Okay. All right. This is perfectly done now. So I can just still leave this because I'm going to use it to tie the other one. This one is done. I'll get another long bamboo. Now, this bamboo is about, let's say, 3 to 4 centimeters in radius. This is just the average one that is good for what we want to do. If it is too big, what you will do is to split it into two. Put one on this side and one on the other side. But I decided to choose the smaller ones. But they are very, very strong because they are going to carry the weight. So what we have done here, we are going to do it here, and we are going to do it here. So that will form the basic structure of the... Guys, you see, we are done with the major structure. It's very simple. You have your vertical structure already and the horizontal structure. The horizontal structure is such that you put one in front and one behind and just tie, so that this forms a platform. You are going to see why this platform is like this. So this, we decided to use this to reinforce. If you can, as you can see now, it's very strong because it's going to carry weight. The next stage of this whole barn thing is to now tie the yams. Now the way we are going to tie the yam is unique. That's what differentiates it from the former one. Although the former one can also be converted to this type. The reason why I like this one and prefer this to that is because it affords me of the opportunity of maximizing space. You are going to see that now. So let's get started with tying the yams. Now in tying the yam, there are two things involved. This is the structure that you are going to be tying the yams on, and the orientation of this structure is very important. It needs to have a flat surface. Now I've taken this 1x2 stick to demonstrate, but if you don't have this 1x2 stick, you can also use bamboo. In using bamboo, there is a modification you have to do. For example, this is the bamboo I may want to use if I don't have that 2x4 stick, because I may have to go and be buying this one, but I can decide to use this one. But remember, I have said that it should be flat. Because this one is all rounded, the best way to go about this is to split it. So you split this into two, so that this rounded one becomes two for you, and that will help you to form the basic structure you need. So this is the part that I've split into two. You can see that this surface now is flat compared to this rounded aspect. So you are going to see what I'm going to use this. So this will also suffice for the plywood, that is the 1x2 plywood I'm going to use as what is going to carry the yams. You are going to see that later. It's time to tie my yams. So first thing first, it doesn't matter the size of your yams. One thing you must ensure is that every part, all those ropes, they are cleaned off and your yam is clean and smooth. This one has stayed in the temporary place of storage for some time, and of course the water content is reduced. I'm sure that it's not going to get bad. That's why I'm storing it in the barn. If it's going to get bad before now, it would have happened, and of course it will not qualify to enter the barn. The barn is a place where only the yams that you are going to store for quite some time, and the ones that are not bad, they are going to stay. So I want us to take note of that. Now the major difference between the former barn and this is what we are going to see now. In the former barn, it's just one of these horizontal that we used, because we wouldn't really need two. But in this particular barn, we need these two because of the way we are going to position the yam. It's looking like you are putting something in the shelf. So this is a shelf type of barn, shelf modification of the former barn we did. The major essence is to allow for space for more storage, and this is what I'm going to do now. That other barn, we did this. The yams, they were just placed this way, from right to left or left to right kind of orientation. But this time around, it's going to be this way. It's going to be this way, from front to back or back to front orientation. Now if I'm going to do horizontal, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 5 of these 5 lines. But what I'm going to do now is this way. This is what I'm going to be doing, such that you can see the space that is occupying is very small. So I can get up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10 of this. So it's more like double. So you can see that this horizontal stuff, they are serving as a base for the yam to rest on. That is why I doubled them, unlike the former barn. So the next is to get another. All right. So I'm going to increase the rope now. In case you have not watched the other video before, the way to tie it is very simple. Go round your vertical wood, tuck it under the rope, drag it out, and you hold. Take another one, just like this. It's as easy as that. So guys, we have finished tying one row. This is how one row is. So you can see that the only space is taking is just this. I'm going to have to put another wood now here. I'm going to have to put another wood here. I'll just dig the ground a little and put this and stabilize this one. Once I stabilize this, I'm done. I will now start arranging yams here again. So you can now see that they are all in the form of shelves. So let me dig. I'll dig the ground a little because I want this particular wood to be stable. So I've dug a little bit of hole, maybe about 5 to 6 inches down, so that I can stabilize this particular wood. Take note that the flat surface, as in the surface that is more flat, that is wider, will face this way. It's not going to face me. It's going to face your right or your left, depending on your orientation. This is it. Such that I'm going to arrange the next set of yams here, just the way I did this. All right, it's as easy as that. But for me to do that, I'll just stabilize it. So it's either I use this or I use my split bamboo. But please make sure that when you are splitting your bamboo, everything is flat from here to the top. It has to be evenly flat so that it will not distort your manipulation. All right. So my split bamboo can be used instead of this one. I can use my split bamboo such that the flat surface of the split bamboo will be on my right side, because I'm going to be moving towards this way. Depending on your orientation though, some they might want to move towards the other way. It's very okay any which way you want. So what I'm going to do now is to at least stabilize so that it will not be, I'll just stabilize so that it won't have to be wobbling. Stabilize there and stabilize here. I'm done. Okay, so I can now start tying my rows of yams if I want to. All right. So I'll start to tie again, just like I did in this row. Okay, but for the purpose of this video, whatever I'm doing here is the same thing I'm going to do all around. I'm going to give us a finished product eventually, but I want to show us how we can store seed yams. The form of seed yams we get from cutting the head is not this other smaller form of seed yams. The one we normally get, the bulb. I'm going to show us how to also tie them here. But before we do that, just like this, there's a maintenance that must be done. I quickly want to chip that into this video so that I don't have to make any other video for that. How to care for that seed yam before you store it in the barn. We are talking about storage generally. So guys, these are the form of CDMs I'm talking about. Powerful set of CDMs, the one you get virtually at no cost. Before you start storing this, it's important you dress or you debride, get out these, because sometimes when you get them out of the ground, they are full of roots, numerous roots, and they are not fine. Before you store, your barn should be as fine as it can be. So you just try as much as possible to dress. And how you dress is to take a very sharp knife. Of course, you are gloved because it can be very, very spiky sometimes. You remove all this. It's very important you do that. You dress them so that in the long run they will just be fine. All right, before you store. Of course, this is the vine that came with it. You don't need that. You just find a way. It can be hard sometimes. So you can see that this is now this is looking presentable and fine. Unlike this, that is looking all jagged up. So you see, let's dress this. You should always dress. It makes it finer. Someone will say, what if I don't dress? Well, it will make it clumsy. So this is the best thing to do. Anything we're doing at all is actually doing well. So let's just do what has to be done. So you remove all the spikes. Remove all the spikes and your CDMs will be fine. See them now. This one is all looking rumpled up. So dress it. That's the most important thing. Dress so that it will be fine for you to start storing. This one, I have to do this. So while you are trying to dress, you are also inspecting. Is this CDM healthy enough for me to put in the barn? If it passed that test, you are good to go. All right. Same thing here. So I've taken the liberty to show us what we need to do before we store. Now there is a little bit of modification, if you want to call it that way. Sometimes you might just want to leave 1 or 2 strands. 2 better. 2 long strands sometimes. So because you might want to just use it to hang the CDM somewhere, but make sure that it is strong enough for you to use to hang your CDM somewhere, in case you are not going to tie it directly in the barn. I may have a platform like this. I may just have a platform like this, and I want to just tie the CDMs, use nails to attach like I've done here. If you can still see this one, I think I did this last year. It's still somewhere around, using the strands to hold it to my platform, anyone. But if I'm going to tie in the barn, I might need it for places that are not directly on the barn. I may just attach them somewhere here so that they'll just be hanging there and dangling if I don't have room enough. So that's the only time, you are expected or probably permitted to leave some form of roots and all that. All right. So now that we have done this, we have dressed, we can now start tying them in the barn. All right, so let me just take a few, demonstrate the tying, and we are good. Tying your seed yam is the same way like tying your ware yam. It's just the same way. All you need to do is to make sure you dress, and once you dress, you are good to go. There is no difference. You can just select the bigger ones so that they will be at the base, while the smaller one will be on top. It depends. That's more organized. So we have finished covering the barn. We've tied as much yams as we can tie now, though we still have plenty to tie on the other part. So but this is the barn now. You can see that the whole place is shady. This is the front part of it. All right, this is the front part of the barn. Then let me take you to the back. So the back is another place for storage. It's even darker. It's not like a tunnel. So this is the back part of the barn. If you followed us from the beginning. So on the ground we have little seed yams, little seed yams that we stored in here. Even some of the big ones. So this place is a shady place that we can also still store some yams. So you can see that this is a traditional method of storing our yams. So this is the back that looks like a tunnel. This is the fence and this is the back. So you can actually go around it no matter the length. Front and the back. Most important thing that it is shaded. So guys, this is what we have done. We've been able to cover the front part with palm fronds. So I'm going to take you through the passageway at the front and I'll go around. So this is the front part now. So it's looking shaded now. These are the front. So it's looking shaded and the yams are enjoying their environment. This is the front part. So let me now go around the back part, which is actually darker. This is the back part. So I can actually go around 360 degrees and everything is well and good. So I'm out of that place now and this is the front again. So you can see that it's very accessible, well aerated, and it's looking all beautiful. These yams will be stored for as long as